Leonkennedy is not a bad match for horror.
And that's on a period. And that's on a period.
Sir Nakanishi, you were and are wrong. Leon's conditions and experiences could have been used to create horror-focused gameplay in the Rhodes Hill Chronic Care Centre and in Raccoon City. Don't get me wrong, I really like Grace's half of Requiem, and whenever I replay Requiem, I typically struggle to continue or stop my run at Leon's half because I just don't jive with it. Even during my first playthrough of 9, Raccoon City didn't capture me the way the Chronic Care Centre did. Overall, the game is fine, but this could have been a Leon-only experience or a 2-scenario type of deal with Mr. Scott and Lady Ashcroft. Let me explain in more detail, ladies and gentlemen. Please like, hype, share, comment, and subscribe.
We're gonna be fine. Listen,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
I like Grace Ashcroft, but Leon could have been the sole protagonist if Capcom did implement a few things into the game. Firstly, there is a mechanic introduced very late in the game in which Leon will slow down and take a few moments to cough and really demonstrate how Raccoon City Syndrome is destroying his body. For the player, if you make Leon do too much movement and fighting, he will go into this state and it becomes a hassle when there are enemies around, especially fast-moving ones like lickers. Because the mechanic is introduced late game and probably for story purposes mainly, I don't find it as impactful as a mechanic. Leon has gone through so much in the gameplay's runtime, so I feel like the average player, while annoyed at the mechanic, wouldn't find it too difficult to deal with or appreciate developers' attempt at intensifying the survival horror aspect. Leon's gameplay sections are all easy, and to me, the survival horror challenges of Leon's previous game entries like RE2 and RE4 are not very prominent in this game. My take is that this mechanic should have been introduced at the very start of Leon's gameplay runtime. So how it would work is the game tells you from the start that Leon is suffering from RCS, and if you make him fight too much or run around for too long, he is then going to stop and cough and demonstrate his internal anguish. Another example would be in the basement of the RHCCC, when Grace is on the waste disposal conveyor belt thingy-mabob. If Leon were the sole protagonist and he had to complete this section, it would be a real survival horror treat because of the RCS syndrome mechanic. A third example would be in Raccoon City. Given that the player should have gained a lot of experience playing with Leon by that point, the RCS mechanic could be taken up a notch and players will have to waste less shots and move more efficiently so as to not trigger Leon's pauses and coughs. This would improve the horror aspects as there's a lot more enemies in RC than the RHCCC. I think the mechanic could be very frustrating if implemented wrongly or with not enough playtesting, but if it's implemented correctly and with enough playtesting, the survival horror aspects of Leon's gameplay in Requiem would be substantially improved. I see RE creators like Dre or MMDRE, I don't know how you pronounce it, Dante Ravioli and Bark Basoup, to name a few, but there are so many more great ones too, who do challenge runs of biohazard games, and I think a fan mod or official Capcom DLC implementing what I have suggested could be awesome to play and watch streamers attempt as well.
What more do you want from me?
RE9 could have had 2 scenarios like RE2, and I'll explain how. Grace and Leon's gameplay sections could have been split into 2 campaigns. Grace seems like an afterthought during the second half of the game. It's sad that we only get to play as her essentially once more before the game's over. In a 2 separate campaign version of Requiem, you could get to play more as Grace, even if it's just puzzles and maybe some flashback sections with better gameplay than the orphanage flashback section. Furthermore, in a 2 separate campaign version of Requiem, the Raccoon City Syndrome mechanic Leon has would be featured only on Standard Classic mode and Insanity mode. However, you'll be able to turn it off in the options menu. So in short, Grace's campaign is the easier one, like Jill's in Resident Evil 1, and Leon's campaign is the harder one, like Chris's one in Resident Evil 1.
You thought you ate that?
So I have a few questions for the audience regarding Requiem and this topic that I've discussed. Do you think Requiem was a good 30-year anniversary present from Capcom? How do you feel about the lack of legacy characters present in the game and its story? Do you agree, somewhat agree, or disagree with my takes and my suggestions in this video? Do you think someone should create a mod that implements the late game Raccoon City Syndrome mechanic from the start of Leon's playtime? Who do you prefer to play as, Grace or Leon? What other mechanics should Capcom have implemented into the game to make it better? Do you think that I'm an idiot or that I'm actually very...
You're gonna be fine. Listen,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
So, thank you for making it to the end of my video. I guess the sound of my voice isn't jarring to some people at least. What negative or positive feedback would you give the video? I'm all ears. Do you agree with my takes? What things would you guys have implemented if you were on the development team of Requiem? My sub goal is currently 1,000 subscribers. Please check out my channel, and if you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you. If you want to directly support me, you can donate through my Ko-fi page or join my Patreon, which are both linked in the description. No pressure though. I'm aware of the economical state that the world is in at the moment. I just have to plug my stuff in case anyone feels inclined to support me financially.
Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
Please like or share or comment so that this video gets into the algorithm and more people are able to discuss this important topic regarding Requiem. Thanks again, have a good one, God bless you, and goodbye.